So, I almost died. That's why this YouTube video is late.
Grapevine, but I ain't hearing nothing great. No, they wanna take it all from me, so I give what it takes. Whole life been a miracle, seen everything but a cape. Why would I stop now? Found everything on a journey, but another way. Look, I'm not.
Jeremy Buendia is universally known as one of the greatest men's physique athletes in the world. Since the origin of men's physique, he has pioneered the division and is a big reason on why it is the most popular and populated division in the IFBB. In a recent podcast shot with his previous coach, Hani Rambod, a lot was discussed, not only about his past and his current state, but a lot about his future.
You know, I've said this is going to be my last year getting on stage, which more than likely it is. My body's beat up. It's not the same as it used to be. It's not as fun training anymore because of the injuries and
What's hurting on you now?
everything.
Shoulders.
Everything, honey. You know, getting out of bed in the morning, my lower back, it takes me forever to get loosened up. I ruptured my Achilles twice this year. You know, my legs are probably never going to be the same. It's messed my hips up, my knees up.
A quote that has always stuck with me ever since my football playing days was, the second that I'm done having fun with it, I'll be done with it. And over the years, Jeremy has gone through so many injuries, ups and downs, and public scrutiny that it seemingly is just taking a toll on him. And even though he is still younger in the general population's eyes, it doesn't change the fact that there are still other priorities, like he mentioned, his gym and family and so many other things that he just wants to pursue and focus on. And it's crazy to sit here as a fan of the division and a fan of Jeremy to understand that this is likely going to be his very last season he steps on stage. And I want you guys just to take a second, because this 2025 season can be the most exciting season ever in men's physique. With the names coming back, with the up-and-coming stars, it's exciting, but it's also sad. The thing that really stood out to me is how adamant and how serious his face was when he said, "Hani, everything. Like everything hurts. You know, his knees, his hips, his lower back, you know, his shoulders, all of these things, you know." And I just remember over the last couple of years, Jeremy always hinting at making a comeback, but then not able to because of an injury or because of something going on in his life. And, you know, he kind of just sums it all up in a perfect 30 seconds with just saying how much pain that he is truly in, you know, because of all of these things. So as a fan of this sport, as a fan of this division, as a fan of Jeremy, you know, this season, I'm going to make sure that I soak it all in, because this will likely be the last time Jeremy ever steps on stage again. The Pittsburgh Pro is shaping up to be more exciting than the 2024 Olympia, and that is not an understatement. With Tyler Manion's recent announcement of increasing the prize money for both the male and the female divisions, and then turning the whole entire show into an experience, adding an expo and expanding the days, but then all of the new athletes who are throwing their names into the hat in order to earn that 2025 prestigious Pittsburgh Pro title, it's safe to say this is going to be a show. And starting off with your 2024 winner in Ali Bilal. There's no doubt, after winning Pittsburgh and New York and then placing second at the Olympia, he is the front runner coming into this show. And some of the recent updates that he's posting online are absolutely insane. The fact that he is 8 to 9 weeks out and looking this prepared, you know, it's kind of embarrassing to sit here and say, but at his 9-week out look, he's better than my actual show day look. So there's definitely some work that I need to do. But nonetheless, dude, Ali Bilal looks absolutely insane. Again, if he has managed to actually improve from the Olympia to the 2024 Arnold Classic and then on to Pittsburgh, guys, I'm telling you right now, he's going to be extremely hard to beat. He is known for his conditioning. And the one thing that he does need to continue to improve is just the balance between his upper body and lower body. But it's not like he doesn't have legs. It's just, in order to be the best in the world, you have to truly be complete. We saw Ryan Terry improve in a very short amount of time just last season to then going on to winning the Olympia. But now we're also gonna have an opportunity to see Ali Bilal and see if he can recreate some of that magic that Ryan had. So guys, I'm telling you right now, keep an eye out for him, because you can just feel his confidence online. He's radiating and he's coming. Man, there's blood in the water and he wants it. Over the last couple of weeks, there's been rumors on whether or not Jeremy Potvin is going to make his comeback at the 2025 Pittsburgh Pro, and it's safe to say that it is confirmed after a recent Instagram story of him showing that he has submitted his contract and he's ready to go to war. Jeremy Potvin is truly a wild card in this battle because there is no one on that stage who will have the shoulder to waist ratio that Jeremy has, and not to mention the roundness and bubbliness of his physique. And I remember after last year's Olympia, he said, I'm going to bring back the freaky version of Jeremy Potvin, the big, the tight, the condition. He's not worrying about streamlining his look, and that can either work for him or against him. But it's safe to say throughout his career, it has worked for him. He is somebody who typically brings next level conditioning. Again, the craziest structure on stage and one of the biggest guys on stage. And you kind of put that all together, that's a recipe for success. So I'm really excited to see the package that Jeremy brings after a long time of not competing. And it's safe to say, he is going to be very, very hard to beat if he can nail his look. Extra, read all about it. There are two names that threw their hat into the Pittsburgh Pro lineup, unexpectedly raising the standard of what this show is going to be. Starting off with your previous Olympia champion winner and two-time Arnold Classic winner, and potentially three-time by the time this show comes up, Aaron Banks. And this man is looking absolutely insane for being 8 weeks out. And I've said this time and time again. Aaron has the highest ceiling in men's physique. If he brings his all-time best, there is nobody on the face of this planet who can beat him. And I'm not just saying that because I have a relationship with Aaron, but the reality is when this man is 100%, again, he has proven to beat every single one of the guys that he's already went against. But over the last year or so, he's actually regressed. And again, all he does need to do is simply play his own game. If Aaron can bring back the 2.0 version of what was the 2022 Olympia or the Arnold Classic, it's going to be a hands down and victory, and he's just going to walk away with his third Arnold Classic title and then his very first ever Pittsburgh Pro title. Aaron is going to be very hard to beat, and he seemingly is in a good headspace. He took the time that was needed after the Olympia to kind of reset his mind, and then the fire was lit. And it's safe to say, I don't think anybody's gonna put it out. And in a recent video, Brandon Hendrickson announces that he is not only doing the New York Pro, but he is also doing the Pittsburgh Pro, and potentially even more shows that he mentioned.
So what the goal is for this year as far as shows is doing the New York Pro, which is in May. And then a week after that is gonna be the Pittsburgh Pro. And then possibly one other show, but the next show after that will be the Olympia, in which I'll be going for my 4th title.
Guys, I think it's safe to say, the fact that we haven't seen Brandon not only compete in a very long time, but compete outside of the Olympia in quite a while, this is gonna bring so much excitement to the men's physique division. Brandon Hendrickson is the greatest men's physique athlete of all time. And not only that, he is the most consistent men's physique athlete of all time. The off version of Brandon is second best in the world. And throughout his career, he has never placed lower than top 5 at any Olympia. And this man has been competing for decades. Brandon is going to be very hard to beat. I want you guys to take a quick second to realize just how insane this list already is. Starting off with Ali Bilal, a previous Arnold Classic champion, a runner-up at the Mr. Olympia, and then Aaron Banks, a winner of the Olympia and a 2-time Arnold Classic champion. And then Brandon Hendrickson, a 3-time Arnold Classic champion. And then Jeremy Potvin, a guy who has been consistently in the top callouts at the Olympia and a consistent pro show winner. And that's even before I bring up the next name on this list, Jeremy Buendia. With this likely being Jeremy Buendia's last season ever competing, I can guarantee that he's gonna go all in to win not only the New York Pro, but the Pittsburgh Pro, and then on to complete his fight for 5 at the Olympia. We really never got an opportunity to see the true potential of Jeremy Buendia's physique with all the time that he has off, because when he stepped on stage at the Olympia, he even admitted it. He was off. He didn't bring his best. But I've had the opportunity to see Jeremy in person just a few weeks out from the Olympia. And guys, if he continued on that trend, I'm telling you right now, he had the potential of winning the Olympia. But instead, he fell back to 8th place, which is amazing. And to say an off version of Jeremy Buendia is 8th place at the Olympia still speaks volumes. But I'm telling you guys right now, that was not even close to the potential that we've seen just days before the Olympia. I'm telling you guys right now, this season is personal for him. And when you have nothing to lose, you gotta fear that man. And then there's other names like Edvan Palmeiro, Vitor Chavez, who has hinted at potentially jumping into the Pittsburgh Pro and New York Pro. They do it every year, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did it again this year. So let's recap. Aaron Banks, Ali Bilal, Brandon Hendrickson, Jeremy Buendia, Jeremy Potvin, Vitor Chavez, and Edvan Palmeiro. What the hell? Yeah, it's safe to say this will be more competitive and entertaining than the 2024 Mr. Olympia. In a recent YouTube video posted by Sadik, he opened up about a near-death experience that just took place and truly how it opened up his eyes and how he's gonna change things moving forward. I got a lot of people who sent me this, and honestly, I was shook. You know, when he opened up the video the way that he did, I don't think anybody of a fan of Sadik in this division wants to hear that. So I'm gonna play this video and I'm gonna react to it.
So, I almost died. That's why this YouTube video is late. Yeah, about 2 weeks ago, Wednesday night, I was having a hard time breathing. And I don't think much of it. It kind of feels like a walking pneumonia kind of thing. And you know, like when you can't fully open your lungs. So, like any masculine, stupid guy would do, I just sleep it off. And then Thursday comes and I'm dealing with the same issue. I can't breathe. Like all day I can't breathe. I'm like, yo, what the hell? And then finally Friday morning, I'm driving to the gym, and not only can I not breathe, I can barely drive. Like all the little bumps in the road are like making me really short of breath. So
listening to some of the symptoms that Sadik is rolling through, I can't help but think, you know, it's potentially something to do with his heart, you know? Oftentimes when you are a bodybuilder, the one thing that they talk about with PEDs is how much stress that it has on the heart. You'll hear people having, you know, high iron just because of the blood thickening, right? So I'm listening to some of these things and I'm praying that it's nothing serious and something that, you know, isn't life-threatening.
I go to urgent care after I finish my workout, of course, and the guy hooks me up on the blood pressure and he's like, whoa. He's like, dude, what the hell? And I was like, listen, I'm just nervous. Like, let's record it like after, my blood pressure after, you know, I'm just nervous. So he was like, listen, this ain't nerves. You're 180 over 97. He's like, even if it was nerves, this would come down a little bit, but you're still in hypertension levels. And the fact that you're complaining about your lungs, I'm just worried you may have a blood clot in your lung. So I said, well, tell me what signs to look for, and if it gets worse, then I'll go to the ER. And he's like, dude, there are no signs to look for. By the time you get the signs, it's gonna be too late. So go to the best heart hospital that there is, St. Francis. I get admitted. Same thing, blood pressure still elevated, but a little lower. They keep me there overnight for evaluation. Did everything from the EKG, echocardio. I also got the CT scan with and without dye, and everything is coming back perfect. So blood work's coming back like, yo, listen, this is great blood work. That's pretty cool. Let's do the AKG, this is great. Let's do the echo. Echo comes back great. Let's scan your belly just to see if your organs are failing. They scan my belly, everything's good. Give me the CT scan, and to me, I'm thinking the CT scan is like, that's gonna tell me like, fuck, I gotta go to emergency surgery, I have, you know, blockage, or I have a blood clot. So I do the scan, it comes back fucking perfect. They still keep me a bit. When I got released the next day, I was asking the nurses, like, yo, what happened to me? Like, you gotta tell me what happened to me. Like, I can't just, you know, go home like this. So when she gets released, she just taps me on the chest and she's like, we all deal with stress differently, honey. And I was like, no fucking way.
Okay, so as somebody who has had panic attacks and stress in their lives, whether it was bodybuilding induced, family induced, business, I know exactly what that feels like. And it does feel like you're damn near having a heart attack. Like everything else around you just feels like it's kind of coming in, you're kind of just getting into a tunnel vision. When veterans in this sport speak, everybody should listen. Because bodybuilding is one of those sports that you truly have to experience and go through in order to kind of give your experience and paint the picture of the reality to those who are still coming up. You know, I love bodybuilding. It has changed my life. But I also know the importance of slowing down in order to truly speed up, but also slowing down to make sure that you get to the finish line healthy and able to live a happy life after the stage. And with Sadik's career slowly transitioning to that, the fact that he's opening up in ways that honestly most don't, and giving us some insight on the stress that bodybuilding puts on a body, and then everything else included, you know, gives me a true perspective, and hopefully it gives you guys an opportunity to, you know, realize that you guys aren't Superman, and everybody has a kryptonite. And if you guys truly don't slow down in order to prioritize your longevity will shorten fast. And being 28 years old, I have to give myself that reality check. And I learned the hard ways in a multitude of different ways. But the fact that, Sadik is okay, he's healthy, and there's been different times in his career that he actually took off to prioritize his family, his health, and his stress, because he's talked about that, multiple different times throughout his years. It's scary. So again, bodybuilding is beautiful, but bodybuilding is not the healthiest of sports. So I'm telling you guys right now, heed the warning of those who have already gone through it and are currently going through it. Make sure you slow down, because I'm telling you guys it's not worth it. And you guys might feel great now, but there's going to be a time when that all catches up to you. All right, so again, legends like Sadik, the fact that they're opening up and being vulnerable, it should give you guys a reality check as well. If you are interested in coaching, I'm now taking on 4 more spots for the 2024 season. All you have to do is click the link below. I would love to pick your brain, hear a little bit more about what your goals are, and see if we could be a good fit. And as always, guys, I love you, I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.